Hey everybody, and welcome to My Hero Academia, chapter number 374 review. This chapter is titled Butterfly Effect. So, last time in My Hero Academia, Korogiri / Shirakumo had just come back from the supposed state that he was in, and President Mike had just gone up to him and asked him, "Hey, who are you?" And he said that he was the protector of Tomura Shigaraki, showing that he is leaning more to the side of Korogiri. And this chapter starts off right there with Korogiri sort of looking at President Mike, and President Mike looking very defeated. He's just like, what's going on? As we cut over to a big storm hitting Washington State in America. And we see a news broadcaster who is here to talk about what is going on here. And she pretty much replies that the massive cumulonimbus storm system that sprang over Japan is growing at a rapid pace. It may only be the east side of the jet stream and affect the weather in North America. According to the Weather Bureau, the convection current is created by several heat spikes in Japan's low-pressure system to form unprecedented type of enormous inferno cumulonimbus cloud. The flap of a And at this point, she starts saying, can the flap of a butterfly's wings in Brazil really bring about a hurricane in Texas? Or is it the fate of our superpowered society, which began with a single glowing baby, being to force us into chaos? The power of a single man can change the world. I stand firmly opposed to the government, no, the world's decision to pander to All for One. As all of the news crews is like, why is she ad-libbing? Cut the commercial really quick. As we understand her message in that brief little bit, she's just saying, we know that All for One will change the world, and it will probably bring about mass destruction like how a butterfly's wings can create this in Texas. So it's a very bad thing altogether, and I disagree, which of course, would make All for One go mad. So we cut back over to Japan, where the whole big battle is going on, and we cut over to Kamino Ward, where Todoroki had just subdued Dabi, and all of that was going on. Burnen's here, and she's just like, talk about firepower, this is insane. Ida runs by, picking up Todoroki, and he's just like, even you will be burned by that. You mustn't engage with him again. You've already hit your limit with your phosphor move. And Shoto's just like, we've all hit our limits, and then some. We gave more than everything, and yet, he is the only one still standing. Even though we both share our father's blood, Toya is the only one still standing. And we see Toya's thoughts here. He's just like, dear old dad's at Gunga, huh? Way too far, really screwed us with those portals, eh? Well, if I keep duking out with Shoto and hope of fighting my father, my body won't last. So Dabi then decides to go there himself as he starts to fly over to the Gunga village as we see a portal open up in front of him. And we see Burnen is just like, this is going way beyond. He will incinerate himself and he will incinerate anybody else. But his body's not made for that. This doesn't make sense. How is he not falling apart to pieces? Is it his convictions? And Shoto's just like, get back here, I'm still on my feet. You want to kill me, right? And he's just like, looks like you're the half-baked one now. Come back here, fight me. As we see Korogiri appears, he's just like, Mr. Daddy Issues, I said no pestering, but I have very good news. You get to travel free of charge as Dabi goes into this portal and warps out right around good old Endeavor there. We cut over to the UA high in the sky where Midoriya is fighting All for One, or Shigaraki, I don't even know what you call him. And we see that Manuel's here with Monoma and Eraserhead. He's just like, the wind's really picking up, Mike. The control over my water may slip. As I was like, hey Monoma, are you hanging in there? And Monoma replies, this battle will go down into history books, right? I'll make sure the Ministry of Education points out that we won here because of me. And he's like, in that cage, we've got Edgeshot, Lemillion, Genus, and Midoriya all fighting for us. It'd be a fool to whine about the measly need to blink. As we just see the battles going on here, All for One Shigaraki is just like almost looking like he blew air into himself, sort of like Luffy Gear 4. and Deku's just here in front of him getting ready to punch him. And we see some text appear on the screen that just goes, "The experiences of one's youth determine the eternities of one's life. And more than anything else, a place in faith is a place in emotions. The feeling he harbors for his friends long after leading such a dark life. You kept Korigiri in the dark, so to help him take immediate action, I planted a micro device in one of Shimura's hands. Yes, Oguchi played his part. What's more, the death of that sad, sad man gave rise to rancor of a young woman's heart. The man who would overrun the world and make good on his grudges gave that feminine fatale just the tools she needed to bring it ruin to all. You've got front seat, Takami. Time to learn what might happen if you hadn't used his death back then." As we see that this was indeed All For One who started this speech, and during this speech, we see a bunch of images on the screen, right? We see that Korigiri's warp gate has opened up right next to where Aizawa, Manual, and Eraserhead are. And Aizawa is Eraserhead, my bad there. But we see that Yamada, or President Mike, is thrown through. And what ends up happening is we see that Aizawa sees him and is like, what's going on here? As we see Dabi has appeared right where Endeavor is, along with Toga, who is in twice his body with making a bunch of clones, and she's just like, oh, Hawks, right? And we see that, who's his face? Hawks is like, kill them right now. We can't let this happen as the chapter ends. This is honestly not too good of a chapter. I mean, it's really just showing what happened, why people are being able to move around now, and how that all works. I particularly don't think it's very good, but that's all I've got to say. And like I said, I don't really have a whole lot good to say about this. We just cut around to a bunch of places. The whole idea of can the butterfly's wings really change the butterfly effect? It's a okay message. And then just to add with more Dabi and all of our villains fighting who they will fight. It's fine. And yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this. This chapter is also very confusing, also being just a measly 13 pages. Hope Horikoshi's doing better, but there's not really a whole lot to say about this one. So with that, this is going to be Glowplasma231 out.